So, good afternoon. My name is Kelly Cole, and I wanted to welcome you here to our webinar. Hopefully, you can see and hear everything, and I'm going to walk you through our Vocabulary Power Plus online program and hopefully give you an idea of what our program is like and how actually very easy it is for educators and for students to use. So I'm going to give about 30 seconds for others to pop in, and then we will go ahead and get started. Okay, let's get started because I know your time is valuable, and I really do appreciate you taking the time to watch this webinar. Just so you know, you can ask any questions in the chat. You cannot speak directly to me, but you can chat with me in the chat box, and I have it up so I can see it. This should only take about 20-25 minutes, and I am going to click through and show you who I am, just so you have an idea. I always like to know whose voice is attached or who is attached to the voice. That's me, Kelly Cole. I am the digital vocabulary lead here at Prestwick House. And the most important thing on this slide is my email. So if you want to take a screenshot or write that email down, make sure you spell it Kelley, because otherwise it won't get to me, at prestwickhouse.com. And my job here is to assist all of our Vocabulary Power Plus online customers all throughout the process of setting up. I will set up everything for you. You do not have to load your students in yourself. Your courses will be uploaded by me. And then if you have any questions along the way as the students are doing the activities, I am always here. You email me and I can pretty much answer you right away. So I will be your guide. So today we're going to talk about VPPO, or Vocabulary Power Plus Online. And if you're familiar with our book series, we took our very popular book series. We've sold about 1.5 million copies of these books, and we made them into an online version for students. And as you know, there are a lot of digital and online things that we are doing now, not only because of quarantine, but just in general. We are using a lot of virtual education, and this is a really easy, great way for the students to hop on and work on vocabulary anywhere that there's Wi-Fi. So they don't have to do it at the school. They can do it at home if they have internet. It is available the books were available for grades 4 through 12. This is available for grades 9 through 12. We are currently working on 7th and 8th grade right now, and hopefully we'll have that available soon. So you will see as we go through how it's broken down. We also have quizzes in our online version, and then we did take the activities within the books and make those into digital activities, and you will see how that happened. So our Vocabulary Power Plus Online is 100% online, and it's simple. And that's one thing I think educators really want and what they need, because I was an educator for 16 years. I taught high school English. And vocabulary is so, so, so important. But we know that we don't have a lot of time in the day and in the curriculum to get everything in. And vocabulary might not also be exciting. So this is a way that the students can get some hands-on work, doing vocabulary, learning the words, working at their own pace. And you, the teacher, or the teachers do not have to constantly monitor or type in anything. It is a win-win for everybody, basically. So it introduces the students to over 300 vocabulary words per level, and it is extremely structured, and I will show you that in a second. It is divided into 3 segments of 5 words. Now, I remember when I was in school getting vocab words on Monday, writing them down, writing the definitions, trying to learn them by Friday to take a quiz. And then honestly, once I took that quiz, I forgot the words and the definitions because we moved on to the next ones. And sometimes we would have 20 of them for a week. This takes into account that our students need a little more time and a little more activity to learn the words properly. So we have 4 different sections in our program. It's the learn section where they will learn the pronunciation, the definition, the usage, and then they immediately start going into the activities where they are actively doing activities. And these activities will increase in rigor. And you will see that the activities are open so that students can always move around within the program, but the quizzes are locked, and we will talk about that when we get to the program. But we have practice, show, and apply with different activities. So here's what I would like to do. I think it's best if we look at the program itself. So I am going to open this up, and you can see here, this is what the students will see. Up here in the corner, you see we have the student app. When a student logs in, they will see this page. They will probably only have one block here because they're only in 1 grade, hopefully. And all they do is they will click here. Now, it will bring them to the last thing that they did. So they do not have to remember where they were. It will take them right to the last activity and they can click in here. But for sake for today, I'm actually going to go through here so you can see these are not locked. So if you need somebody to go back and review some of the words in lesson 1, they can easily go back and review the words. I actually am going to skip down to lesson 5, and I just want to show you what happens. Lesson 5, you can see lesson 5 has 3 segments, and we break these 15 words down. So they're only concentrating on 5 at a time. And in this case, advocate, gist, mesmerize, charisma, and efface. And when you go down here, you'll see segment 1. So segment 1 are these 5 words. So if I click into here, you'll see what we just saw on that wheel that I showed you earlier on the PowerPoint: learn, practice, show, and apply. So I'm going to click on learn just to show you what it looks like. Here are the words. I'm going to click on advocate. And now you will see the word, the pronunciation, and it does have an audio component so the students can hear how to pronounce the word. We have the definition where they will say the word, audio component. Here's the definition: to recommend, to speak in favor of, and then also advocate, the noun. Then they can also listen to an example sentence using the word. So the organization is neutral and does not advocate support of a particular candidate. So this is where the students are absorbing the word. And as you can see, they're not only seeing it, but they're also hearing it. And they can replay it over and over. They can come back to this anytime and look at the words and the definitions. Now, one thing I do want to mention is I clicked into the folders, which is one way of getting in there. But you would want to tell your students to always go down here to next activity. When I said it was streamlined, this is what I mean. It will take them exactly to the next step. So they never have to jump around and wonder, what do I do next? Where do I go next? They just follow next activity right down here. So I'm going to go through and you'll see the words and the definitions, nice and big and clear. It's very clean. It's uncluttered. One more. Now you see down here, we get to next activity, practice. So hopefully they've read the words, they've listened to the words, maybe written down the words, because we know that writing has that connection to the brain and it helps them remember. Now they're ready for the practice. So we go in here and there are two sections in the practice. So we have matching. So I'm going to follow like a student should and just go to the next activity. And you will see here that the matching is drag and drop. So this is where the students will click on a word and they will just simply drop it into the matching definition. So let's say mesmerize, to completely hold the attention of, to hypnotize. Let's put that there. The gist, the main point. Okay, now I'm just going to randomly put these in. I know it's hard. As a teacher, it's hard to get things purposely wrong, but I wanted to show you what happens. One of the best parts of this program is they get instant feedback. The students will know that they got advocate, gist, and mesmerize correct. And obviously, if these two are wrong, then they would just switch those. And they can retake it and do it again. You can set a score that you feel the students should get in order to move on. I will say it doesn't keep them from moving on if they don't get that score. If they get a 0 on it, they can still move forward to the next activity. But you in the grade book can see how long it took them to take that and what they scored. So then you would kind of have to go back and say, hey, I know she didn't get the 100% that I asked you to get. You need to go back and do it. The good thing about this also is it's in such small chunks that I don't think students really mind going back and trying again. After they get through that, we come to similar meanings. This one they really have to think about because the directions say, choose a word that's not similar in meaning to the vocabulary word. So this is taking another step. We're not just looking for a synonym, we're looking for the antonym. So what word is not similar? So if they know the definition of advocate, I'm going to click this one. Hopefully that's correct. Mesmerize. Actually, I'm just going to go through because I do want you to see what happens. Now down here, we submit all answers. It will ask here again to submit. Are you sure? Yes. Now look at this. Once again, instant feedback. It will not tell them what the correct answer is because it allows them to go back and try again, but they know that they got these two wrong. They can retake and it will clear it out and they can do it again. You can also see on the gradebook side how many times they've attempted it. So if they sit there and they retake it 10 times, it will show up on the gradebook side. All right, so I am, just because I want to follow the path, I'm going to click through and I'm going to go to next activity. If they don't retake it, they just come down here, next activity, and click. Now we have show. This is the most challenging part of the activities because they've already been exposed several times to the words and the definitions. Oh, I should have clicked next activity, but it'll go to the same place. And this is where we want them to think a little bit more about what sentence relates, what vocabulary word relates to this sentence. So a group of students wrote to the district to push for better school lunches. Advocate, efface, mesmerize, or gist. So which one would be most connected to this sentence? The students are advocating. This one is efface. Years of tourists touching the monument will eventually erase the engraving. Hopefully they know what efface means by now. I'm going to go through and I'm going to submit, and you will see instant feedback. I got these 3 incorrect. Does not tell them what was the correct answer. They will have to go back and figure it out. Fill in the blank. This one, choose the answer that best completes the sentence. So now we are finishing the sentence with the vocabulary word in the sentence. So the revolutionaries tried to efface blank. A meeting with the new ruler, the current government rule, people from entering the war zone, or how they were going to take over. So the students might say, oh, efface, to erase. Okay, if they're revolutionaries, they're probably trying to get rid of government rule. They would go through, they would read carefully. This is where they do have to slow down, read, think about the definitions, and make those connections. So we have 5 here. I'm going to submit. And then here we go. Next activity is apply. So now we're not just understanding the definition and the words. We are going to actually put them into context. So this one is a paragraph. And this is where the students are not clicking, they're actually writing. So we go in and we look at this paragraph, and the words are right here. And I guarantee you, I was a teacher for 16 years, and I guarantee you they will say they didn't know how to spell it. And if it's spelled incorrectly, the whole thing is wrong. But the words are right here. So just tell them, look in the box. So Joan's passion is to blank the cleanup of the James River. Okay, so I'm going to type in advocate. And she is always trying to gain supporters for a cause. The usual. Now, I'm actually going to just type in words as they appear. And once I get them all in, I'm going to submit it. Yes, I want to submit it. And it's incorrect. So even if they get 1 or 2 wrong, or if they miss the Z in mesmerize, it will make them do it again, or not make them do it again, but it'll say it's wrong and they can retake it. Finally, we have word use. And word use can be tricky because there are multiple answers. So they are to choose all the sentences that use the vocab word properly. So for example, in mesmerize, this one might be the only one that uses the word properly, but in this one, it could be all 4. So they really need to stop, slow down, and think about it. This one is tricky. I go through and I've done it, and it's tricky for me, who is an English major and an English teacher, but it's not tricky as in, haha, got you. It's tricky as in you really need to slow down and think. You really have to make sure you understand the vocabulary words and how they can be used in sentences. And yes, it's the most challenging part, but I honestly think this is an amazing way to get the students to really understand how to use these words in their writing, because they see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to submit it. I'm sure these will be wrong. Okay. So I go through, just tells me this is wrong. They will have to go through, do it again. You see down here, they also have the submission score. And you will be able to go in and see that on your end. But this is where they know if they did well or not also. If you say you have to get an 80%, they know down here they got an 80%. And then after they're done with segment 1, it takes them right to segment 2. Now, that is an overview of the activities. And we finish all of these with a quiz. So I am going to go through, and I'm going to click up here, and I'm going to go in and click on the quiz. And I just want to show you really quickly how the quiz looks. The quiz, when the students do it, is password protected. So all of the activities are actually open. They can go in, they can go back, they can redo, but the quizzes, they must have a password. So once you put the password in, here's the password, and this one is I'm going to submit. And you will see matching. This will be all 15 words. They will just drag and drop. All of their matching. Then they will go into synonyms. And you will see that on the synonyms, a little slow today. Logged me out. That's okay. You will see on the synonyms quiz, let's go to the quiz. Okay, so on the synonyms, it won't let me, but what I wanted to show you was that they only choose 5 of the words. So 5 out of the 15 words will be on the synonyms. The same for the antonyms. Only 5 of the 15 will be quizzed. Now, the last thing I want to show you is the gradebook. So when you go in as a teacher, you will see the same activities, but if you click this gradebook down here, you will get a nice overview of how all of the students are doing. And you can personalize it. Here I have notes, tells me, okay, he tends to talk out loud, make sure to keep him on track. If other teachers are using this with you, they can see that. Or if there's a substitute. Only you who has teacher access will be able to see this. So then we also have the score, their overall score of all of the activities. We have your letter grade, how much they've completed, and if they are doing well or if they might need a little more attention to some of those words. And then you will go in here and you can just click and see what they did within the grade book. You can go in and look at an individual student. You can look at how they did on a certain activity as a whole, and you can see the average. So if you want to use this as a tool to look at what other vocabulary words or what attention is needed for their vocabulary, you can do that. So that is a really quick overview, not really quick, but it's a quick overview of what our activities look like, what our quiz looks like, what our program looks like. And you'll see that it is pretty easy for teachers and students to use, and that was our goal. So I am going to invite you to get a trial account, and you can email me at kelley@prestwickhouse.com. I can set you up with a trial account that you can go in and play with. You can have whatever grade level you choose, and you can do it yourself. So you can see what the students will see and see what some of the vocabulary words are and go from there. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can write them in the chat or send me that email, kelley@prestwickhouse.com. I thank you for giving me some time today, and I will be talking to you soon, hopefully. Have a wonderful day.